Hello, welcome to Thor Talk, the show all about Marvel's resident god of thunder. On this episode of Thor Talk, we'll be looking at several notable characters that Thor is closely related to, including Zeus, Vishnu, the panther god of Wakanda, and even Agamotto, the first sorcerer supreme. So let's take a look at Thor's family tree on Thor Talk.
I am Thor the Thunderer, son of Odin, prince of Asgard, and this world is under my protection.
Before we begin, I'd like to thank the Asgardian god Charles Smith from Patreon. Something that many people don't know is that Thor is only half Asgardian. His father Odin is responsible for his Asgardian heritage, but his mother is something far more ancient. Odin wanted an heir whose power was not just limited to Asgard, so he sought out Gaia, the elder goddess of the earth, and together they had Thor. Gaia is an elder goddess, which makes Thor half elder god. Elder gods are extremely powerful and ancient gods who were the first beings to arrive on Earth. One of these elder gods was Ashtor, who is a member of the mystical Vishanti and the mother of Agamotto. Agamotto was the first sorcerer supreme of Earth, the creator of Doctor Strange's famous Eye of Agamotto, and also a member of the Vishanti. Since Ashtor is Gaia's sister, that means that Ashtor is Thor's aunt, and Agamotto is Thor's cousin. Gaia is also the goddess of the earth, which is why Thor is naturally drawn to the earth and has some control over it. But Gaia is not just limited to being Thor's mother. She's actually involved in nearly every pantheon of Earth's gods. To the Japanese, she was known as Izanami no Mikoto. To the Hindus, she was Aditi. To the Egyptian, she was Neith. To the Norse, she was Jord. She's been known by many other names, including Mother Nature and Mother Earth, but typically she goes by her Greek name, Gaia. It is through Gaia that Thor is connected to nearly every god on Earth. Gaia's first child was Atum, but the Egyptians knew him as Amon-Ra, the god of the sun. Amon-Ra had several children, including Sobek, the crocodile god, Sekhmet, the lion god, and Bast, the panther god. Bast is particularly notable as she is the patron goddess of Wakanda and she empowers the Black Panthers. Amon-Ra also fathered Khonshu, the god of the moon, who supposedly empowers Moon Knight in a similar way. So, since Gaia is Amon-Ra's mother, that means that Thor is Amon-Ra's half-brother, and he is also the uncle of Bast and the rest of Amon-Ra's children. In the Greek pantheon, Gaia was the mother of Kronos, the titan who fathered Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and the rest of the original gods. That means that Thor is Kronos' half-brother, and also the uncle of Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. Zeus had a myriad of children, including Hercules, Ares, Apollo, Athena, Artemis, Hephaestus, and many, many, many more, all of whom would be Thor's great nieces and nephews. Thor would also be the great uncle to Poseidon's children, such as the Greek hero Theseus and the Cyclops Polyphemus. In Japanese mythology, Gaia became known as Izanami, and she married the Japanese sky father Izanagi. With Izanagi, Gaia had Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun and current head of the Japanese gods, who would be Thor's half-sister. Thor is also likely the half-brother to the three Hindu gods that make up the Trimurti: Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer. Now, in Hinduism, how these gods were created, or if they were created at all, is up for debate. This is the same in Marvel, as their origins are shrouded in legend. But the origin that is most popular in Marvel is that all three were created when they emerged from the golden womb of Gaia. As such, they are typically considered to be Gaia's children, and thus Thor's brothers. Later on, Gaia was known by the name Aditi in the pantheon, and in Hinduism, Aditi was the mother of one of the incarnations of Vishnu, so it's likely that Thor could at least be considered closely related to Vishnu. So, as you can see, Thor is related to many notable gods of Earth. He's the uncle of Zeus, the brother of Amon-Ra, and probably the brother of Vishnu. He's even closely related to characters who are tied to the origins of several Avengers, such as Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Moon Knight. Now, there are many more examples of gods and goddesses that Thor is related to through Gaia. Gaia is essentially in every pantheon ever, and it would take a much longer video to cover even half of them. But I hope this video helped you see just how connected Thor is to the rest of the Marvel Universe. Well, that's all for this episode of Thor Talk. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and maybe even subscribing. I really enjoyed making this video. I really like seeing the connections that Thor has to the other gods. It's really cool to see stuff like how Thor is Hades' uncle. By the way, Hades is my favorite Greek god. In Greek mythology, all the gods are doing horrible things like ruining people's lives, but Hades, he kept to himself, and he helped out when you asked him, so he's the nice one, and I appreciate that. Anyway, with that said, see you next time on Thor Talk, where
You'll behold in breathless wonder